In this video, I wanted to share some insights about Operational Combat Series, the OCS, in Dean's own words. Now that he's no longer with us, we're fortunate that we still have his words. So this is some comments he made in the 2018 edition of Special Ops magazine about OCS. And he said, OCS was a reaction to the narrow focus of so many war games. Go directly to the enemy, find your 3-to-1 attacks, then crush them. If that missed the mark, it ended up in a giant World War I-like snake dance from one coast to the other, while you fought it out hex by hex, celebrating each time the front moved a few inches toward some distant goalpost. The snake dance was real. I recall checking in on games over the course of the days at Origins, just trying to see if anything had changed. Often, to our eyes, not a thing had. Where were the sweeping drives? Those armored columns the enemy is too slow to recognize and cannot figure out where they went, only to hear the telephone go dead at their headquarters. Was the only purpose of armor to find a way to lock down an enemy stack with zones of control so that they couldn't retreat and took extra losses? Was there no logistical infrastructure in the rear that was a juicier target? Why was there no blitz in their Krieg? It seemed that the armor's most important attribute was the size of their attack factor and modest speed advantage, which meant little in the solid front line they were usually in. Rapidity of movement meant little, except in the few turns that you got before the front solidified. At that point, I was thinking about how to capture this. The U.S. Army was rediscovering the concepts of maneuver warfare cleverly hidden right in front of their eyes. We had learned from the Germans in World War II to execute it with our own style, but those lessons were allowed to drift away in the post-war years. We looked on in wonderment at the accomplishments of the Israeli army and still didn't recognize the pattern. Air theorist John Boyd worked out a theory based on the decision cycle that should have lit up some minds. This all came to a head in the Reagan rebuilding of the military in the 1980s, of which I was an insignificant part, but able to be around to learn the theory and the ideas. Furthermore, as much as some wargamers hate the thought, logistics is the key to these maneuver operations. Sure, you just opened a hole that has a clear road leading all the way to Moscow, but you simply cannot just drive until you get there. Logistics has two components, both of which I wanted to show. First, you have to have enough stuff. Second, that stuff needs to be in the right place. There are a host of reasons why you can't do everything you want to at the same time, and that shows in both requirements. You just don't have enough stuff to give to everyone in the first place, and you don't have enough transportation to move to them, even if you did. When you make your lightning move toward Moscow, you find the next truism. Transportation can go long or it can go wide, but it cannot do both. Funneling all of your transport assets to support a deep drive means someone else won't be getting all the stuff they need. Likewise, a long drive down Route A to Moscow makes it so you cannot simultaneously make a long drive down Route B, unless the assets on Route A can also support Route B. That is, they are close. And no amount of, I have supply officers to handle that, will make the problem and insufficient resources go away. Logistics dictates operations, the art of the possible. Those nominal supply officers would have to tell you, no, we just can't do that. And that is exactly what the game system is doing. Making this tune play was the heart of the OCS and still is. One reason OCS play is still thought of as dancing with razor blades is because maneuver works. World War I, not so much. You can be ripped apart rapidly if the conditions are right. It works, but it can be jarring to those who are in an endless stream of World War II games that have all the movement of the Western Front in 1916. And there you have it. Dean Essig's own words on the OCS. And, you know, I think he describes one of the reasons why I love the OCS, and I have every game in the OCS series. Haven't played them all, but I have them nonetheless. Anyway, thank you for listening today, and I hope you have a great day.
I can't stay much longer.